Hi, my name is Joey, and I found Michelle and Mark through SoulQuest, actually. I'm on an integration circle with everybody on SoulQuest, and that's how I was introduced to Michelle. Back in September, my child was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of brain cancer, and it was the most devastating news a parent could probably ever receive. And so it's been a really long, hard journey, but with our faith, our love for life, our love for one another, we've been getting through it and we've been overcoming this challenge. And we know that we're here for a bigger purpose and that all of this has a greater meaning. And my son has been the biggest inspiration. This brain cancer diagnosis has taught me how to love, how to have compassion for others, how to have an understanding for people that are going through something similar, and just have given me a tremendous amount of faith and courage and trusting in the unknown, because this is the most unexpected unknown that I could ever face. And some of the struggles that we have faced have been a tremendous amount of side effects from treatment. He's had to go undergo full radiation on his entire brain and his entire spinal cord, even after surgery when he was already cancer-free at the time, which poses its own risk because the radiation has approximately a 50% chance of causing secondary cancers. And then the chemotherapy has about a 40% chance of causing secondary cancers. So then to have to, as a parent who's more alternative and holistic, have to be forced into your child undergoing these really aggressive treatments. And he's been in treatment for over a year. He's still in treatment, and it's going to be over hopefully very soon, as long as all the scans are good, which so far so good. But it's been a challenge, and we're trying to get through it the best that we can. It's been a challenge emotionally, it's been a challenge financially, and other ways that you couldn't even imagine possible. Just even the amount of time that it takes when you're dealing with something like this. We lived up at the hospital for almost 5 months after his brain surgery, and he is such an inspiration. They told us he would not walk or talk right after brain surgery because the size of his tumor was 6.4 centimeters, which is about 3 times the size of these tumors that they find in the cerebellum, which is responsible for your ability to stand up straight, your balance, all of your motor functions, your speech. And I did my best to pray over him, surround him with the most positive love and light going into that surgery. And when he came out, he was able to call out to me. And that's when I knew he was able to speak. And it was the most beautiful thing, most beautiful words I've ever heard. After being told that your child is probably not going to be able to speak, and even if he does, it'll probably be about 6 months before he's able to. But he was speaking full sentences. He is a warrior. This child is an old soul. And he came here not just to teach me lessons, but to teach the world a lesson. And anyone that's seen any of his videos, dancing is his medicine, singing is his medicine. And it has gotten him through some of the most challenging times. This child has gone from nearly dying from treatment at 42 pounds, and he's up to 72 pounds now. And I know that that medicine of the music and the dance has been able to lift and raise this child's spirit in a way that has been so profound and has taught me personally the healing powers of just our frequency and just how we go into these challenges. Because no matter what, we can always find that inner state of peace that's inside of all of us. It's there. It's always there. It's never left us. This is just a temporary experience that we're all having. And as tough as it gets, I'm grateful for that, knowing that this is a temporary experience that we're both having. And I'm grateful for the support of the community around me and all the beautiful souls this has brought into our lives. Some of the most challenging parts of dealing with having to care for somebody that's facing a cancer diagnosis is, especially as a parent, it completely turns your world upside down. Your ability to work and financially support your family is changed dramatically. I'm a single parent. I don't receive any child support. And so not being able to work, being up at the hospital and living, the hospital is about 2 hours from my home. So I had to live about 2 hours away from home. I was not able to be employed for this past year for the most part. I've recently started doing a couple of workshops here and there, but it's not enough to sustain my family. So you don't realize how many financial challenges are going to come with a diagnosis like this. And you don't realize how much it's going to shift and change your life. It also impacts relationships that you have in your life. I was in a 5.5 year relationship when this all started. And unfortunately, this tore us apart. And it was very unexpected. And so we were living together. And then through a cancer diagnosis, I now had to have myself searching for a new housing situation when I already was struggling. So it's just sometimes unexpected hit after unexpected hit. And you just have to like live on surrender and faith and know that no matter what, somehow, some way, it's all going to work itself out. This is going to make us both so much stronger, and we're going to be able to help so many more people once we overcome this challenge. Jameson's biggest struggle through all of this has been the tremendous amount of nausea that he's faced. He is a light in the dark, though. I mean, this child has thrown up 12 times in a day and can still find a reason to smile. And if he's having a bad day, all I have to do is say, "Do you want to dance? Do you want to sing?" And his whole face lights up. I mean, it's amazing what just, like I said, I really feel that us dancing and us singing is us connecting direct to source energy, to our soul's power. And it's gotten him through some of the most challenging times. And just not even being able to like be a regular child. I mean, being 11 years old, being separated from your friends during this time because your immune system is compromised and you can't be around other children that often because your counts are dropping to zero. He's such a social guy, and I still socialize him as much as I possibly can. Whenever those counts are raised, we are doing whatever we can to get him around people because he's just such a social guy. So I think the social aspect of it has been a challenge, and just some of the side effects, and his inability, unfortunately, to eat because he's on a J feeding tube. So that's been a real challenge for him because anybody that was able to do something like that and now is incapable, you can only imagine the challenge that that would present. The biggest blessing that has come out of this is a love that is so deep and so profound for my child and for other people that have just like shown up out of the dark. Like I've been having through this, I've had some challenging days. And synchronistically, it'll be exactly when the right person will say something to me. The right person will text me. The right person will just show up in my life from other states, from other countries. And it's taught me how connected we truly all are. And it's been such a blessing, and the love and compassion that's come through such a crazy challenge has just been something that words can't even explain or describe. Right now, I'm just trying to get Jameson through this, and how we need support the most is financial. I just faced, like I said, a year of treatment, which hopefully will be coming to an end soon. But the complications from his medical side effects have been tremendous at this point. And we're going to be facing an uphill road on trying to recover and trying to heal his body from this and trying to keep him from this cancer returning. Brain cancers can be extremely aggressive, and unfortunately, the relapse rate is extremely high with brain cancers. And when they do relapse, typically they are incurative. So we are trying to do whatever we can alternatively to help keep his body as strong as it can, to help repair some of the damaging effects treatment, and just trying to keep a roof over our heads, because this economy is insane right now, and having to take a year off of employment and kind of work has been one of the greatest challenges I had to face in my life, and so unexpected. So it's just put us in such a financial strain that has just, it's been a challenge. It's been a big challenge in my life right now, but I know it's something that I'm going to overcome. And I have faith that the support will be there when it's needed. Jameson's dad is in his life, but unfortunately, he's not been very supportive with me. And he, to this day, has not signed Jameson's Make-A-Wish consent form. He does not pay me child support. So it's been a bit of a challenge. Since our divorce that happened approximately 6 years ago, he has said that he does not work. And so it has been a bit of a challenge dealing with him. In the hospital, there was a time when he said he went to the hospital social worker and said I was not allowed to come up on on his days with my son. And this is when my son was going through the very thick of treatments, full radiation, full chemotherapy. There was absolutely nothing that was going to keep me from that child in the world. But the hospital social worker sided with him, and they said they put in crazy things saying that each parent was allowed 2 days with the child and had to alternate days. A court order to overturn that just to be able to be there with my son every single day. And the fact that another parent would even try and keep a mother from a child that wants his mother there every single day with him is unconscionable. And so I don't understand it. It's maybe above my comprehension at this time. I know that it's just operating from a lower level of conscious awareness, because if his dad realized we're all one and everything he does to me, he does to himself, I think he'd be operating in a different capacity. But that's not exactly what I'm dealing with at the moment. So I just sent him love. I pray for him every day that he'll wake up and realize that love is the answer. Hatred is not the answer. Just being indifferent to somebody, like this should bring a family together. It shouldn't tear a family apart. And the child's needs has to come before any animosity or any hatred towards another parent, because that is the most important thing, is my son's needs of anything else in this. And I've never tried to restrict his dad's access to him during these treatments. But unfortunately, that's not been the reality I've dealt with from the other side of this. And I hope that changes. Jameson's biggest hope for the future is being able to return back to some sense of normalcy. And we do. We try to make every day as normal as possible. I think anyone that's followed our journey sees that I try to make him feel like he is just this normal kid having this amazing experience in life, because he is. I mean, he's having an amazing experience. It seems like a challenge on the outside, but I think he knows before he came here, this is what he signed up for, to help teach some major lessons. I know it's taught me a lot, and I think anybody that's watching this situation has learned so much, how truly inspirational and how joyful he is facing this challenge. But his big hope is a child again, just to be around friends, just to live life to the fullest. He loves life. This kid loves life more than anyone I've ever met. So he just wants to get back to not having to constantly go to doctor's visits, not being in the hospital, and just being a child again and living life to the fullest.